What's up, Shulk?
Look, it's a switch to activate a lift. If we can get it to work, it should take us up.
Ricky want to ride lift?
We can't. There's no power going to it.
Boring.
What do we do?
Well, if we could find the main power supply...
Okay, people, let's get looking.
Yeah. If we can connect the power to the switch, we should be able to use the lift.
Toppling might help in that fight. Toppling helps in any fight that isn't a fight where you can't topple. So, absolutely, like, if you're having trouble in a fight and you haven't immediately defaulted to trying to topple the enemy, I would recommend trying to topple. And even if you run into an enemy that you can't inflict break on and therefore can't topple, oh, that was the easiest quest of my life. Try to get Fiora's tension up in the middle of the fight to where she can use Final Cross. And then use... Oh, you might not have Final Cross unlocked yet. I don't remember when the game gives you Final Cross, actually. You might not have that by the Jade Face fight. I don't recall. If you do have Final Cross, even some enemies who can't be inflicted with break can still be toppled as long as you use Final Cross on them. Or I think Starlight Kick can do it, too. I don't remember. I know that Final Cross can topple enemies that can't be inflicted with break. I don't know if Starlight Kick can topple enemies that aren't inflicted with break. It should be able to, as long as you hit Spear Break and Starlight Kick, because I don't see why it would... The enemy doesn't have to have break inflicted for you to be able to topple it. I want to see where this elevator goes before using the other one. Fiora learns Final Cross just after that fight. Oh yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought it was just before, but then I was like, nah, it might be after. Hello. Beam me up. Oh no, beam me down, actually. My bad. There's a lot of purple goo in the Mecha-Homs' shoes. You should look into that. Oh, this is how you get back up if you fall down. Right. And then that yeah, there's that unique Mech-Hom you have to drop into that pool. Okay, cool. All right, now beam me up. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, just fast travel me here, actually. Goodbye, elevator. That's what happens when robots have wet socks. Oh, I hate it. I hate it a lot. Dude, I love the Mecha-Homs field music. It's so relaxing and also techno. I love it. Xenoblade has such an amazing soundtrack. Definitely one of the best soundtracks in video games. I would be willing to fight people on it. Alright, what are we doing here, boys? What do we got going on around here? I definitely need to go this way because there's another quest thing. Probably another one of the memory pieces I need. This isn't dangerous at all. Can I? Hello? I can't... Oh, I was aimed at the wrong enemy again. That's what was happening. I was very confused as to why I couldn't use my art there. Here, Fiora. I'll take that aggro. Thank you. Appreciate it. I also really like our vibe. I'm glad that you feel the same way, Fiora. I think we were all vibing very well in that combat. I got a reinforced jet to replace normal jet. I wonder if reinforced jet will be like way better at Project Winter. This is some epic music. I love it. Same. I need to start triggering the fights more instead of the enemy walking into me and triggering the fight, so we can listen to mechanical rhythm more. Where is this thing? Is it beneath or above me? I think it's right above me. I feel like Mecha-Homs Field gets Water Boatman. Water Boatman! That sounds like something Shroom would name. I feel, I brought this up before, but the Mecha-Homs areas of the game, they don't get, like, a lot of hate, which is what I was gonna say at first, but that's not true. They don't, like, get a lot of hate. But, they get a little bit of hate compared to the Bionis areas. And again, I do agree that the Bionis areas are, like, more varied and unique and stuff. Like, I'm definitely not saying they aren't, because they are. What's down here, huh? Oh, maybe this leads to the thing I need, actually. It was below, not above. But, I feel like of the Mecha-Homs areas, Mecha-Homs Field especially gets a lot of hate, because whenever I see people talk about Mecha-Homs Field, they talk about, like, oh, I gotta go up an elevator, there's another freaking elevator to activate. And I'm like, Mecha-Homs Field is not that long. There are only, like, 4 elevators to go up. I don't know what your problem is. And the music is so good and gets talked about so little. You know, there are other better area musics in the game. I think Agniritha is better area music. Definitely Guar Plains. Satoral Marsh and Volok Mountain at night definitely have an argument to be made for being better than Mecha-Homs Field. I'm pretty sure Volok Mountain's night music, I like it, but I'm not a huge fan of it, but I really like Satoral Marsh's night music. Probably Satoral Marsh at night I would say is better than Mecha-Homs Field, but maybe not Volok Mountain at night. But, whenever I see people talk about Mecha-Homs Field, it's normally just complaining about it, instead of talking about how, first of all, it does, like, all of the mechanical and stuff does look awesome. And, Mecha-Homs Field music is some of my favorite area music in the game. I feel like it doesn't get enough mention or respect for how good it is. Hello, Moist Unit. Have I mentioned how much I hate the fact that Eggle named one of the Mechon the Moist Unit? Because I am not a fan of that. Cass, I always wanted to ask you this, but since you're a huge fan of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, what did you think of Future Connected? Oh, I loved it. Future Connected was great. I think it was honestly pretty much perfect. There isn't really much they could have added to Future Connected to make it any better. I think it was a really neat way that they had it be like a different play style instead of just being the normal play style. It was like the perfect length, because it took, I 100%ed it, and it took me like 13 hours to 100% it, which is a very good time for it, I feel like. Get this cord unit out of my face. Probably the only thing I would have added to it is I think they could have made Tyrea a playable character and had her play like Fiora. That's something that I heard some other people suggest that they would have liked if Tyrea was playable during it and she played like Fiora does, because they both wield like two weapons. I think Tyrea's are more like weird gun slash things, but it's still very similar to Fiora, like holding 2 slashing weapons. Is probably about the only thing I would say they could have added to Future Connected to make it better. But the Pawn Spectres were fantastic. That was such a good addition. I love the Pawn Spectres. The gameplay of Future Connected is not as good as base gameplay Xenoblade Chronicles, because it's a little, you know, chain attacks aren't a thing. They have the Pawn Spectres instead, so it's not as... There's not as much you can do with it. But because it was only like a... If you only do the campaign of Future Connected, it's probably like a 7-hour experience or something. And if you 100% it like I did, it can be like 10 to 15 hours. So for the amount of time it has, I think it's... Oh, Melia's toppled. For the amount of time it is, I think it was very, very well done, and it was a neat way to do the combat differently, and it had a really nice story that was added on to the end of Xenoblade. It's, you know, you're asking a lot of a video game to add on to what I already consider to basically be perfect. Like, the story of Xenoblade Chronicles is about as good as it can be. There's really not much else you could do for Xenoblade Chronicles story-wise to make it any better than it is. So, to add on more storyline to it like they did with Future Connected and have it like be good to just not be bad is it's a bit of an ask, and they did very well with it. IMO. Where's the there's the pool of water. Where can I make that jump from? Right over there maybe? But yeah, I'm a big fan of Future Connected. I think they did fantastic with it, about as best as I could ask for. I really loved that they not only tied in stuff from the main story, but they also tied in stuff from side quests. Like that one Hyentia kid that you can do side quests with in the post game. What's his name? I think it's Teelan. He shows up in it and he plays a big role. That's really nice. Bana shows back up in it, which is just amazing. That's so good. And then they give you some really nice closure with one of the best side characters in the game, which is Tyrea, and add even more depth to her as a character and whatnot, and while also adding plenty of depth, especially to Melia, who Melia, I would argue, is one of, if not maybe even the best character in Xenoblade Chronicles, and they added a lot of good extra stuff for her. Yeah, while also giving you a little more insight into Shulk as a character, and also some insight into Ricky as a character through his 2 children. Really, they just did fantastic with it. Also, yeah, in Future Connected, they tie in the fact that that one heart-to-heart that Ricky has with Charla, talking about one of his kids, like, getting stuck in a tree and needing to be saved, they brought that heart-to-heart back with Nene being that kid in the story and all. It's just amazingly well done. They did absolutely fantastic with Future Connected. I honestly have practically no complaints with it. Really, like, nothing that I would be like, oh, this was really bad. I wish this was different. Like, there might be some things that I'm like, oh, it would be, like with Tyrea, oh, it would have been nice if they added this or if they did this slightly different, etc. But even though they didn't, I'm still fine with it. It's still great. Incredibly well done. Just hats off to the Xenoblade developers for pulling that off so well. Because, again, adding, like, more content, especially story-wise, to a game that is already, like, beloved and is considered incredibly well-made and has a great storyline and all, to add more to that and not just have it be screwed up, basically, is well done. Kudos to them. More often than not, when game developers do something like that, they end up screwing it up rather than making it better. I think I Blossom Dance here to ensure that I get to use a high-level Blossom Dance, even if it's not Chain Max. And then I can Final Cross. Nailed it. And then Melia will take it off of green. Oh my god, you're dead. The Max Final Cross actually killed them all, my bad.
We did it! I cannot thank you enough.
I didn't, I'm pretty sure there were other enemies behind that guy that were alive that also died to the Final Cross at Chain Max. I always forget how strong Final Cross is. Yeah, they did amazing with Tyrea. Tyrea was one of the least fleshed out side characters in Xenoblade, even with her side quests. But she was still, like, they used Tyrea well enough that it was like, you know, you could like Tyrea and be like, oh yeah, they did some neat stuff with Tyrea and Melia in Xenoblade Chronicles, just normal. But then Future Connected, they changed her from, like, a good side character to, like, one of the best. It's very, very well done. Alrighty, I'm gonna kill you now. I love it when Fiora says alrighty, and then she literally one-shots an enemy with a talent art at max chain link. You love to see it. Check this out. Alley-oop. Oh, that worked. I actually thought I was gonna fall and die. I don't want to have to fight these guys again, because I already fought them, so I'm just gonna shimmy my way out of here. Fiora revels in the destruction of her foes. She's just like Hilda from Three Houses. Fiora, like, slaughters 30 Mechon, and then she's just over their destroyed, oil-ridden bodies and pieces going, Fiora! Fiora! Fiora doesn't have as much of a ring to it as Hilda, Hilda, but it still works. It's good enough. Fiora and Hilda would get along. I believe it. I love that part right there. That part of the track that just played in Makota's Field where it's da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. I think it's about to do it again. Yeah, I love that part right there. Very good. What's better, cannon drones or sword drones? Oh, sword drones, by a mile. Sword drones are Fiora's best option, most certainly. Like, they're probably, she has 4 different drones, right? It's shield drones, cannon drone, sword drone, and then some other 4th thing. It's like the AoE laser drones. I think it's called laser drone, actually. Like, cannon drone is the laser beam straight ahead. Laser drones are the AoE ones all around her. Sword drones are the, like, tin strike one. And then shield drones works just like Shulk's Monado shield. But they all have their place, and they can all be useful. Like, none of them are bad, I would say. At least situationally. I love, by the way, you know this railing was put here so that you couldn't alley-oop yourself to the end of the level right there. It's the only thing that makes any sense. I think that's a unique Moist unit, isn't it? Yeah, Destroyer Salvation. We'll get him. But sword drones are just demonstrably the best. So much damage, and I think they all 10 hits have an individual chance to crit. Fiora's really good at critting, and also when you crit, it builds the party bar. It's just amazing. It's cannon, gun, sword, and shield. Gun, not laser. Alright, that was close. I remembered what they all did, I just didn't remember all of their names, because I only ever used the sword one. girl. Go all out. Get him, girlfriend.
My turn.
Honestly, just get him. And freeze him.
Let us move in for the king. You must
Did-
suffer more.
What did Melia just do? What was that? Bum 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 bum. You're dead. Bum bum bum. Alrighty.
Is our greatest strength, and together
Oh, mechanical rhythm. I did a top 30 list of Xenoblade Chronicles OSTs before. I'm pretty sure there were 1 or 2 OSTs that I accidentally left out that were really good at the time because there were just too many to pick from. But when I did that OST list, I'm pretty sure Mechanical Rhythm was like my 3rd favorite song in the entire game. Number 1, I remember, was Unfinished Battle, which only gets used once. Twice if you count Future Connected. But only gets used once, which is criminal. And then I think I had something else in front of Mechanical Rhythm, and then Mechanical Rhythm was 3rd. Or Mechanical Rhythm was 2nd, and then like War Plains was 3rd? I don't remember. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna nab this because I can. Is there like a reason to go over here? What's this about? Is there something up here? Oh, it's a location, okay. That's a very easy way to not fill out the map because you didn't see that little spot to walk up to and it had its own location name. Is there anything down along this that I need? I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. I'll just kill all these things, I don't care. Hey guys. No, wait a minute. Oh, dang it. Well, I mean, I was gonna walk past them so I could fight all 5 at once, but then by me not initiating combat, it's not Mechanical Rhythm, which sucks. I will initiate the next combat. I gotta remember, when you're in the Mecha-Homs, you want to initiate every single combat if you can help it, so you get to listen to Mechanical Rhythm.
almost there. Don't you must suffer more.
More suffering! More suffering!
My friend.
Do-do. Oh, dang it, I thought I'd have Final Cross. Well, rip multiplier.
We're not done yet. Leave it to me.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought that poison would kill you. Although it was only
No
like
one can
times
oppose
2.
us. This is not done ban.
Nailed it.
I want to try too.
Pretty sure that's a burst affinity. I'm pretty sure anytime the B concept, the B prompt comes up in battle, it's a burst thing, and we have to get burst affinity, and we have to get 2,000 of those to get the record we need.
Display no mercy. Good luck.
Hello, grunt units. Time to die. Petition for Pokemon Cannon. The legendary dog has Imperialdramon Fighter Mode's Positron laser on the back. Oh, dude, the dream. Honestly, if we could just put more Digimon concepts in Pokemon, maybe the Pokemon games would start being good again. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Okay. My turn. I feel
My goodness, sword drones.
Leave it to me. The ether is flowing through me. You must suffer more.
Goodbye, sir? Oh, I'm not gonna get the beat drop. No!
Each other is our greatest strength.
No, the beat drop every time.
Amazing.
Easily the worst part about Mechanical Rhythm is that the beat drop is placed so perfectly that, like, 8 times out of 10, you finish the fight right as you get to it. Not 8 times out of 10. Probably more like 4 times out of 10, but still. In NG Plus, it's like 9 times out of 10. In the normal playthrough, it would be like 4 out of 10.